Okay, I'm going to be real with you. A lot of people are thinking that the whole video game industry, and yes, I'm going to get to that, is going in more into that, is collapsing because of Nintendo and Microsoft raising their prices, and the whole industry being completely combined in pricing. I'm here to tell you it's not just a gaming problem. I have observed other pieces of media aside from anime, and I can tell you this much. Now is not a great time for entertainment, and we need new writers, new creatives, like me, new storytellers, to tell their stories. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if we don't do that, entertainment will die, and soon. For a while, at least, we'll be living in another, our dark age. Like gaming sort of experience or short ages, dark ages before Nintendo or Sega stepped in '85. Well, cinema did the same thing before Jaws, between releases of a few the '50s and Jaws. That was a much longer time, guys. And the reason why I'm suggesting that's going to be longer this time, maybe not for gaming because a lot of people don't want to see that one die. Maybe not for anime because I do see that one is the most strongest and will survive this crash because they are still making good quality content, especially Japanese video games. No. I'm talking about the American market. And this is why the American market needs more writers that are like new blood. Basically, the reason why I'm saying this is, and a lot of people are going to pin the blame for, they're going to think it's just a gaming crash in history, but in reality, it's a whole wide entertainment crash that has ruined the industry. Now, I think Valve, Atari, and Sony will be the saviors of the gaming industry in the future. When the crash suffices, Xbox might not survive. I do think Nintendo will, but it'll come at the cost of them being bought by Disney and their IPs being taken away from them and them having to make worse IPs. Which, real talk, I'll talk about this in the second part, but I'm going to talk to you about, I do believe the July 5th thing. It's almost July 5th right now, jeez. If that prophecy is real. It's just we don't live in the timeline where it came true. Only parts of that manga artist's predictions came true. Stuff that was needed to maintain continuity. I do not think there's a big massive entertainment crash going on in the other two timelines. We're the ones that entertainment-wise get the rough end of the stick. The job market is screwed up for us and Gen Zers instead of like great like it usually is. Which is why I'm lucky that Lego started thinking about making me part of the Lego store job in Flatirons, because I loved Legos as a kid. I played a lot of Lego games, but regardless, what I'm trying to say to you guys is this. I don't know. Beats me. I mean, we got the rough, outside of Nintendo, which, yes, quality-wise, we didn't get the rough end of the stick. Most other things we did, and I think the reason why the entertainment industry is dying in this dimension, it has to do with The Last Jedi. The more I realize it, the more that everything, not just for Star Wars, but for entertainment as a whole, fell apart because that film ruined the entire Star Wars universe. I believe that was the most important film, that even before the film released, in film history to get right, and I still stand by that. Because they got so wrong, and now we have to deal with the worst, not just entertainment world. I'd even go so far as to say economy, tariffs are happening because Trump's reelected, and the job market's screwed for us Gen Zers. And most Gen Zers probably won't survive unless if they're archived individuals like me. they'll no longer be deemed Gen Z. Those of us who have been archived as Gen Zers, we are the generation that is gonna break the Gen Zers. That's gonna break free of the programming. Us archived ones. Because we've been pulled out. But yeah, what I'm trying to say here is real talk, knife blood, is basically what I'm trying to say here is we are screwed. Entertainment wise, we're not just screwed with that. Job market is screwed because nobody wants to hire anyone, and I hate saying it, but real talk, I may not have been able to get a new PC by 2020, the end of 2028, if it weren't without me possibly finding a gardening job as a possibility, or the Lego job opening up, and Flatirons. That's already up in the Flatirons. It's great because they might hire me there, and they're seriously considering hiring me as a retail sales associate. But what I'm trying to say here is most people are not living a great life because of this. 95%, the other 4% of archived individuals, and I'm part of like a really rare percent where I didn't have an alternate self. So what I'm trying to say here is, yes, I do think that we are in a state where it's kind of crappy right now. I'd rather it be crappy in my 20s, have a great, awesome rest of my life, than die right into as the age of 27 and go to hell, and then be reborn with blue skin and be made fun of for years, maybe even decades. So what happened to my alternate? He was Wilfred Mullis, and I can prove I'm not him because I was born in 2001 and not 1998, which means I had a Vita and a DS instead. And I was named Caleb Smith and had a completely different dad. Probably the reason why I was archived, but yeah, because I didn't fit into the new version and they're trying to unarchive me. What I'm trying to say here is, but back to the entertainment talk. You guys think it's going to be a gaming crash, right? No. A lot of people think if it was just that, I wouldn't see other entertainment fields struggling. It's going to be much worse than that. Gaming is crashing like the book crash of 19-something. But we are not the 1983 crash. It's dangerous for an industry to crash in its youth. That's what almost killed the video game industry. Now they're more mature and can handle a crash, but I do think it probably won't be as bad as it was before because we're not in infant stages of the industry anymore. That's the reason why the E3's crash sucked and why people in the gaming field tend to blow it out of proportion. What I'm trying to say here is I don't think it's just going to be an immediate gaming crash. I'm going to call it the entertainment crash of 2025, or whatever year it ends up being. It's unavoidable. In fact, I think for Hollywood it's already happened, and we're in it right now. And we're about to see a completely terrible industry market crash for not just gaming like people are suggesting, but for Hollywood. Music has already felt the reels of it. Maybe even anime, but because every anime is starting to end, but I do think it'll bounce back from it eventually because they are a strong art form. Video games will bounce back. If they can bounce back against the 83 crash, they'll bounce back again thanks to Valve, Atari, and Sony. So what are we going to do? And one of the two, Xbox, maybe they'll survive, but they won't be the brand they were before. I think they will. Nintendo will survive, but they won't be owned, but their systems won't be made by them anymore. Because they'll be owned by Disney and they won't have the same IPs. So, that's what I'm observing, and what I'm trying to say to you is I'm going to make a series of videos starting with the critical video essay of the Switch 2, and we're going to do a criticism of a lot of other things afterwards. But yeah. I'm going to say this right here, right now. I do think we are in the darkest timeline for anything right now. If it's like we're in the dark timeline because things aren't happening the way they should. Apparently, it could be worse though. Nibiru could be happening. But we're okay. We're okay. Bye.